Emilie Kiser seeks privacy after tragic loss as court weighs public access to records. On May 27, Emilie Kiser filed a lawsuit in Arizona Superior Court for Maricopa County in an effort to keep sensitive records surrounding the accidental drowning of her 3-year-old son, Trig, out of public view. The court will now decide whether her right to grieve in private outweighs the public's legal right to access certain government documents. Trig passed away on May 18 after being pulled from a backyard swimming pool in Chandler, Arizona. Days later, Kiser and her legal team filed a motion to seal police reports, 911 calls, and other public records, arguing that releasing such documents would cause profound invasion of privacy and irreparable harm to the grieving family. The lawsuit claims that the media coverage and public interest have already created a media frenzy around the family's tragedy. Emilie Kiser and her family desperately want to grieve in private, but sadly, the public will not let them, her attorneys stated in the court filing. This heartbreaking situation has sparked a complex legal debate about privacy, transparency, and the responsibilities of public figures. Central to the issue is whether Kiser's role as a social media influencer, someone who shares aspects of her private life publicly for commercial gain, weakens her claim to privacy in the eyes of the law. Craig Weiner, a partner at the law firm Blank Rome, told USA Today that while the case remains in the early stages, a judge has significant discretion in whether to seal the documents. It's going to vary from case to case, Weiner explained. But this is going to come down to the judge balancing harm to the family against the public's right to know. What are public records and why are they public? In the U.S., documents such as police reports and 911 recordings are typically considered public records. This principle is grounded in transparency, a key function of democratic governance. According to the Cornell Legal Information Institute, these records help ensure that government agencies remain accountable to the people. The Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, mandates that federal records be accessible to the public, although each state has its own laws governing how and when records can be released. In Arizona, public records laws allow for access to documents unless their disclosure would cause substantial and irreparable private or public harm. If that threshold is met, a court can seal the records. More than 100 public records requests related to Trig's death have reportedly been submitted to the City of Chandler and the Maricopa County Medical Examiner's Office. One such request came from USA Today just 3 days after the drowning incident. Kiser's lawsuit claims that many of these requests were made for commercial purposes, a suggestion disputed by journalists and legal experts. Arizona law specifies that requests made for news-gathering purposes are not considered commercial, even when the resulting news coverage is monetized by publishers. The role of influencer culture. As an influencer, Emilie Kiser has shared aspects of her family life publicly, and that openness may impact the legal outcome. The public has an interest in newsworthy events, Weiner explained. This individual is well known. They're in the news. And more than that, they put themselves out there. Weiner added that public figures who voluntarily share personal details online may not be able to claim full privacy protection later. You can't turn around and say, "This is affecting my privacy," when you've posted pictures of your home and your kids. That said, Weiner emphasized that Kiser took the appropriate legal route. She did the right thing by going to the judge, he said, noting that her concerns about emotional distress to her family are valid and deserve serious consideration. A delicate legal and emotional balance. At the heart of this case is a deeply human question. How do we balance the public's right to know with a grieving family's right to mourn in peace? While the legal principles are clear in theory, their application is far more nuanced in emotionally charged cases like this. The outcome could set a significant precedent for future cases involving public figures who seek privacy during personal tragedies. As the court deliberates, one thing remains undisputed. Emilie Kiser is enduring what her attorneys rightly called a parent's worst nightmare. Whether the law will allow her to do so away from public scrutiny is now in the judge's hands.